Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic the project estimation. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management or you are planning to give exam of PMP in near future. So let's start friend. First of all, I would request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well so that my new videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, estimations of all kinds are entrenched in our day-to-day life. When we plan a trip, we usually estimate expenses for accommodation, meals, and transportation. We also calculate how much time we need to get to the hotel and airport, figuring out the shortest route. We also set our priorities and do our best to stick to them. Similarly, in software development, accurate estimating is far more vital since the success of your effort is at stake. As a project manager or business owner, your top priority is to meet deliverables, timeframes, and optimize the budget. The biggest challenge with proper estimation is what there is also a great deal of ambiguity when it comes to software development. It can be hard to assume how much it will cost on the first try, as a lot of factors are at play. It can even take hours of preliminary research and coming up with unconventional methods how to tackle it. Now, what is project estimation? Generally speaking, it's the process of analyzing available data to predict the time, cost, and resources needed to complete a project. Typically, project estimate includes scope, timeframes, budget, and risk. Key component of project estimation: scope. Basically, project scope as detailed outline of all aspects of a project, including all related activities, resources, timelines, and deliverables, as well as the project's boundaries. The project scope also outlines key stakeholders, process, assumptions, and constraints, as well as what the project is about, what is included, and what is not. All of this essential information is documented in a scope statement. The project scope statement of work details all aspects of the project, from the software development lifecycle to key meetings and status updates. Accurately estimating the project scope means you can have a more precise understanding of the cost, time frames, and potential bottlenecks. Time frame. With a scope of work on hand, it's easier to estimate how long it's going to take to achieve each milestone. Make sure the time frame allows time for management and administration. Also, make sure you prioritize tasks, identifying those that need to be completed before others. Some factors might also slow things down, like meetings, holidays, interruptions of all sorts, and rejections from quality assurance. A proper timeline estimation covering all elements of the project will show you how much time will go into completing different parts, interdependable deliverables, and when each major milestone will be achieved. Resources. Defining the scope of work and timelines makes it easier to understand what resources the project needs. Resources are staff, vendors, contractors, as well as equipment. You should allocate resources for the task in the scope of work. Before you do that, you need to know their availability and schedule in advance. This way, you increase the reliability of a project. Cost. Cost is an essential part of a project. Everyone wants to know how much it will cost to develop a project before going to deliver it. To predict the project cost, you need to consider the scope, timeline, and resources. With these aspects mapped out, you can have a rough estimate of your project. You can base your estimation on past project cost. If you don't have your own historical data, it's best to ask someone who has already developed a similar project to advise budget wise. The more accurate information you have, the closer project estimates will be. Risk. Every project comes with risk. However, it's possible to identify them and devise strategies to handle them. An ideal project estimation document includes potential risk as a sort of insurance against threats in the project. After the risks are identified, you need to prioritize them and recognize their probability and impact. Now, how we can do the estimation of a project? There are several techniques nowadays available. One technique is top down estimating. It's a technique whereby the overall project is estimated as a whole, and then it's broken down into individual phases. You can use this approach based on your historical data, adding estimation for each project element. Top down assessment is not detailed, so it's only suitable for rough budget estimation to see if it is viable. Then bottom up estimation. This method uses a detailed scope of work and suits projects you have decided to go with. The bottom up approach suggests estimating each task and adding the estimates to get a high level assessment. This way, you make a big picture from small pieces, which is more time consuming but guarantees more accurate results than the top down estimate. Expert estimation. This kind of estimation is the quickest way to estimate a project. It involves an expert with relevant experience who applies their knowledge and historical data to estimate a project. So, if you have already executed a similar project, you can use a top down or bottom up estimation by an expert. If it is not your typical project, you need to gather a technical and domain expert team to do the assessment. This team of experts is not necessarily a part of the project team. However, it's highly recommended to engage an architect, technical lead, or system analyst. Analogous estimation. You can use it when the information about a project is limited and you have executed a similar one in the past. Comparing a project with the previous one and learning on historical data can give you insight into a project you have on the availability. For more precise estimation, you should choose a project that's a likeness of your current one. Then you will be able to compare the two projects to get an estimation. The more similarities the projects have, the more precise estimation will do. Then parametric estimation. If you are looking for accurate estimation, a parametric approach is a good solution. Is a good solution. It relies on historical data to calculate estimation coupled with statistical data. Namely, it uses variables from similar projects and applies them to a current one. The variables can be human resources, materials, equipment, and more, like stakeholders and product owners, business needs, functionality that goes back to for business needs, how the functionality should be implemented, time frames for each element of functionality, and cost of the project actually. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video. Thank you, friends.